I'm speaking with artist and friend Amy Boebel. We're talking about her upcoming show at the Stronghouse Studios, Lost with Words. The event takes place in conjunction with First Thursday Art Walk, Thursday, February 3rd, 5 to 8. Amy, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, Lost with Words, Reflections on Female Icons. Why this theme?
I like the female form, and I've been very fascinated by, actually being fascinated about being a ballerina all my life, and using tulle and silk. And I started making forms out of screen with tulle, silk, nails, old recycled bras, and they were just things to be worn, and I wanted to have something that was more permanent, that felt like a sculpture, something, an icon that you could put in your home.
What are some of the themes that we'll see when we show up at the Stronghouse Studios around this idea of Lost with Words?
You'll see feminine icons that have been made out of wire paper covered with various materials, maps. I have one made with trail maps of Telluride, words, quotes. There's a lot of bodice forms. There's shoes, high heel shoes forms. There's lips, things that I associate with being a woman, parts of us that we care about. And they're covered with quotes about beauty or quotes about love, or just words that have become woman definitions, like baby, fox, cupcake, bimbo, a Betty, a Sheila.
Give me an example of a quote that resonated for you that we'll find on one of the bodices.
There's a couple I really like. One is H.L. Mencken, "Love is like war, easy to begin but very hard to stop." And Ingrid Bergman has a great one. "A kiss is a lovely trick designed by nature to stop speech when words become superfluous."
And then you have a piece based on Match.com?
Yes, I've been on Match.com a number of times, and I decided it would be funny and entertaining to take quotes from some of the emails I've gotten from men over the years and put it on a bodice, just to kind of, show the humor in Match.com and what people think is appropriate to say. I like to think about honoring the female form, that it's beautiful. And then I contrast that with words that sometimes don't express that people have called women, like I said earlier, chick, babe, Betty, and filly, fox. Because I feel like even though we get called those things, we still should honor who we are and be powerful in our, and proud of being feminine.
Do you see the concepts of feminine versus feminism as contradictory, as sympathetic? How do they integrate in your work? Do they?
Great question. I think feminism and feminine are intertwined, and you can be both. Within yourself, I think that society often, and this is somewhat of a cliche, finds a feminine woman to be weak and controllable, and a very powerful woman to be unapproachable and mean. I want to show that you can be feminine and powerful and still be a woman.
Terrific. Looking back at Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique, that was a very polarizing work. Your body of work is much more sympathetic with the current views of feminism, which, as you described, are not contradictory with the idea of being feminine.
Right, and I think you're right. Betty Friedan needed to go very much extreme to get attention, to get people aware that there was something that needed to change.
What role does art play? How does that fit into the big picture?
I think as an artist, I almost feel like I have to make art. That it's something that if I don't draw or do something or create after a week or something, I know that there's something wrong with me. So it's a compulsion. It's a huge part of my life that hasn't always been as important as it is now.
There was one art critic I think his name is Wolflin, but he described what you were describing as the will to form. How does your work at the Stronghouse Studios and with TCH feed into your artistic expression?
Well, I really feel as an artist it's great to collaborate, if only in words and discussion, with other artists. I think you can feed each other with your ideas, critiques, or even just sometimes in conversation. So I know I get ideas from other artists get things from me, we share materials. It's been a really huge part of being in Telluride. The reception will be on Thursday, February 3rd, at the Stronghouse Gallery, and I'm serving chocolate and champagne and other fun goodies, but just to, again, to sort of follow the theme of the feminine icon. So wear your high heels and come.
Wear your high heels even if you're a guy. This is Telluride after all.
Yes.
This is Susan Viebrock, Telluride Inside and Out. I've been speaking with Amy Boebel. Her work will be on display at the Stronghouse Studios for First Thursday Art Walk, February 3rd, 5 to 8.